Here, as you can see, you can see the coffee plant and the finished coffee ready for the cup. We are growing coffee in this place. We have gone ahead to actually process this coffee, roast it, ready for the cup. As I told you, we run a cafe in town called O Cafe. As the name can also say, O Coffee. Here we do O Coffee. And this is the coffee that we now sell, a cup of black coffee, for 8,000 shillings, vis-a-vis the 9,000 shillings of Kiboko coffee, which you would sell for 1 kilogram. My name is Peter Odoch. We are here in Nwoya district in a sub-county of Kochgoma in a small village of Busia. I am a coffee farmer. I got into coffee about 4 years ago through the inspiration given by the president. This coffee plant is about 3.5 years. It's the second time it is fruiting from the time we planted it. As you can see, this one's flowered in November, December, January, and now the fruits are getting ready towards ripening. By about November, we shall again be harvesting as the plant prepares itself for the next flowering. For me, coffee is a new thing, and I am learning as we practice. I have not known so much about coffee, but out of the education that is given in social media, on YouTube, I've also visited a few farms. I have liked the fact that this coffee tree can last up to about 40 years without you cutting down. You just have to maintain it. I thought I should take up coffee farming because I can do it during my time. My children can also take it up. It has been a good thing. From the last harvest, we were able to harvest with the thinking that we will do coffee locally here, be able to process it and also sell. In Gulu town we have a coffee shop called O Cafe where we actually sell coffee. As you can see, there is this big coffee plant and there is a small one down here. We are doing a bit of gap filling. This comes because we actually planted coffee here, there, but this one in this particular spot, it died out. Died out because of the hot weather. In this region, in northern Uganda, in Gulu, in Acholi sub-region particularly, between December and March, the temperatures are all close to 40 degrees Celsius. And so, if you don't have water, many of the coffee plants will dry out. These ones survive because maybe we try to put a little water, but then as we move around, you'll see that there's a lot of drying. Now, where do we get the seedlings? The first seedlings that I got them out of Operation Wealth Creation. We were given some seedlings, I got about 3,000 of them, planted them in this garden. We have approximately 10 acres that we planted coffee, but as I say, the number of them died. A good number also survived, but we are gap filling. The gap filling that I'm now doing a gap filling of 3 meters by 1.5. That tree to this one is about 3, but I'm filling also in between so that I have 1.5 by 3. This is a new model because we believe that if you can feed your coffee, if you can give your coffee the required nutrients through the manure, through the organic fertilization, then this coffee is able to give you what you need. What you need is walking space in between, but in between here you can actually have 1 meter by 1 meter running between 3 meters. With that, in 1 acre, you don't only get the 460 trees. You can get up to 700 trees in 1 acre. Multiplied by 10, you're close to 7,000 acres, 7,000 trees. This will give you a higher yield coming out of your garden. The best thing that you have to do is to ensure that your coffee has nutrients. Here I have a small garden, a small place where I keep goats and cows. That is where I get my manure. And then I also have elephant grass, which I will show you, which I'm supposed to give to the animals. But I realized that these beef animals don't need the elephant grass. So I chop that elephant grass and I use it to mulch. So that during the rainy season like this, the soil is able to absorb all the water to try and retain it during the dry season. And it is during that dry season actually that the flowering of these trees happen. Now in the last flowering, we didn't have water. All these, as you can see, from here up to here, they were actually flowers. But many of the flowers are aborted because there was not enough water during that season. So the flowers fell down in order to contain what the trees could carry. But you realize that all this would have actually been fruits, and each tree would have given me close to 5-10 kilograms. Now, hopefully, by the end of this year, we will have water running in this garden, and therefore I expect a better fruiting coming out. What we also have to do is to maintain every tree to have a maximum of four branches. As you can see here, we have 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now, each branch, if the branches become too many, that is when it becomes really difficult for the trees to make use of the nutrients. So we maintain only 3 branches, at most 4, depending on what you expect to get out of that tree. If you have manure, that is well. Coffee growing in northern Uganda is new, and I want to think that is because of what they had given us in as far as, I think, during the British rule that we had here. Sections, Buganda was for coffee, North was for cotton and tobacco. But now recently we realize that actually coffee does everywhere. It will do everywhere basing on the fact that there should be water and nutrients. We planted this for the first time, and we realized that coffee is doing very well. Actually, I have a few Arabica coffee in here, which I may show you. You will be surprised that Arabica coffee is even doing here as much as it is doing well in Bugisu or in Kasese area. So coffee can do anywhere as long as you give it nutrients and you also give it water. Those are the 2 basic things you need. I think you can see that General Salim Saleh has been very consistent in northern Uganda, particularly in Acholi land. He has made this place a home for himself, and that shows that he knows what is possible to be done in Acholi land, especially when it comes to coffee. The other thing that he has done is to make sure that he rallies the leaders of Acholi. He's actually part of Rochokwo, which is being led by Chief Justice Owindolo. He has been very consistent with these people, pushing for every family at least to grow half an acre of coffee. If we do that, then we will change the narrative of the economy of this place, because coffee is plant once, maintain it for very many years while you harvest your money. So for me, this is green gold. The biggest challenge here is the dry spell of December to March, April. If we can overcome that by giving water, or people accessing water to irrigate their plantations during that short spell of dry season, which is always very hot, then I believe that we will be able to grow coffee and grow a lot of it in northern Uganda, particularly in Acholi land. The land is fertile, as you can see. I have not put serious fertilizer here to add to this plant. All I give is add manure and put the mulching. And as you can see, the plant is flourishing. The good thing with coffee is that once you give it a shade, it is able to survive. And in this plantation, what I have done, I have planted matoke. I have also planted other fruit trees. People have talked about giving these coffee plants shade. And for me, instead of growing a shade tree that is not going to benefit me, I have decided that I will plant avocado, as you can see. I have also planted mangoes. I'm also planting sour sop. So whatever I'm planting here will be used and eaten, and it will go to the market. As you wait for the other one to ripen, you are selling the other one. Coffee is almost an energy drink. Coffee is also a class apart drink. It's a social drink. Coffee is a drink that brings people together to discuss very valuable issues. And so for me as a farmer, I have always known that selling my product at primary point, just like a coffee bean like this, I would be cheated by the person who sells the last. The last seller to the consumer always gets the highest. And so that is why I decided to be at the farm, but also be at the end, where now I am selling to the final consumer, and that is I am selling at the highest price possible. But along the way, definitely, I am employing people. I am employing people on the farm. I am employing people to process the coffee, but also I am employing people to work at the cafe. All this is a chain of value addition, but also increasing on the employment opportunity. For me, I've gone into value addition. After harvesting the coffee from here, I send it to Kampala for hulling, sorting, and roasting. Now, as a farmer, I didn't want to be cheated by the middlemen who usually come and buy from us, and then they go and sell very expensively. Because this, what we call kiboko, you harvest, you dry, you sell. It is usually sold, right now I think the market price is about 9,000 to 10,000 or 12,000. But when you go to the cafe, if I sell you a kilo of roasted coffee, you are going to buy it at 40,000 a kilo, and yet a kilo of this one is 9,000. So you see the difference from 9,000 to 40,000. But also, if I sell to you now coffee in a cup, the 1 kilogram coffee can make for me up to 30 cups of coffee, each one being sold at 8,000. That is 240,000 shillings coming out of 1 kilogram of coffee. And that is why, for me, I've decided that, yes, I will introduce another business to support this farm at the end of the tail. Here, as you can see, you can see the coffee plant and the finished coffee ready for the cup. In this farm, we took up advice from His Excellency, the President, who said that we should set up a 4-acre model, although we have planted in more than 4 acres. But we are growing coffee in this place, and we are not stopping at only growing and selling the primary product, but we have gone ahead to actually process this coffee, roast it, ready for the cup. As I told you, we run a cafe in town called O Cafe. As the name can also say, O Coffee. Here we do O Coffee. And this is the coffee that we now sell, a cup of black coffee, for 8,000 shillings, vis-a-vis the 9,000 shillings of kiboko coffee, which you would sell for 1 kilogram. Out of this half a kilogram, you are able to get up to 200,000 when you sell coffee in the cup. And that's why for us, our model here is farm to cup. And I want to thank General Salim Saleh, who has really encouraged us to grow coffee, and the President, who has told us to add value. Putting the two together is the way to go. This is Nuwaya district, where we are growing Robusta coffee. And I want to appeal to my fellow people in Acholi land. Let us not be lied to that coffee does not grow well in Acholi land. If you can see, out of this tree, this is the second time it is fruiting. By the time we go to the 4th, 5th time, you realize that the coffee will be bearing close to 10 kilograms per just tree. And so we can pick up this and change the narrative of our economy. Other than growing maize, which you have to keep plowing the land every other season, we can actually go into coffee growing. But I also want to appeal to the government that the seasons in northern Uganda, in Acholi land, is different from the one in Buganda. Much as we can grow coffee very well here, but the farmers need to be supported with irrigation systems. Less of that, we will be having trees that are not bringing their fruits to the highest potential possible. This tree alone can produce up to 10 kilograms. But the fruiting, the flowering happens in dry season. It happens in around November, December, January, February. That is when the tree is flowering. But because the sun is too hot, many of the flowers will drop down. And so I appeal that government should support us with irrigation system. With that, we expect that coffee growing or the coffee economy will really come up so strong in this part of the country. I run a cafe called O Cafe in Gulu town, right in the center of the city. Right now it is located at Shell, opposite Stanbic Bank. Please reach out and have a cup of coffee, enjoy the environment with your fellow people in northern Uganda. You can actually reach out to me if you want my help in establishing your farm on 0772 341168. I really want to call upon the people in northern Uganda, particularly in Acholi land. Please reach out. First of all, come to the farm. Come to this farm. So far I don't have a name for the farm, but this, I would call it Pen Ebenezer Mixed Farm. And I would say that please come, let us learn out of this place how we can grow coffee. But also come and buy coffee. In December I will be harvesting a lot of coffee. December I will be having a lot of coffee you could buy from us. But also we can join hands and see how best we can improve coffee farming in this region. The other thing that I want to say is that please come to the cafe opposite Stanbic Bank at Shell, and there is a cafe there called O Cafe. Let us enjoy coffee together. Let us develop this economy through the coffee economy.
I'm Upoga Simon. I'm a coffee farmer. I'm an agriculturist. I'm a trainer with the knowledge in the entire value chain from seedling to export. At the moment, we are integrating animal production to support the complementary advantages of having animals to provide daily and routine income, at the same time manure. So at the moment as we speak, I have been able to import fabricated incubator and hatchery that hatches up to 5,280 chicks every 21 days, and is established in St. Maurice, Palarajab, which is part of Laro Peche constituency in Gulu City. The need to incorporate animal production in perennial crop is very important. At the moment, I'm the secretary of the Task Force on Perennial Production, or perennial crop production in Acholi, under the leadership of Rocho Pacho, where the Chief Justice and Ambassador Laro Tunu are our leaders. And we have collaborated closely with Operation Wealth Creation that has supported the lobby of money for coffee. And besides money for coffee production in agriculture, we are also promoting water for production. And therefore, the issue of animal manure through intensive local chicken production is key. We have a capacity of 5,280 chicks of local improved kienyeji chicken already in place, and we are training farmers to engage in intensive cropping and intensive farming of poultry units, so that every farmer does not put to waste the chicken poo. It's the best manure for the banana, for the coffee, and for kitchen garden, because every farmer, like the president says, adopt the 4-acre model. And he says, whether opposition or whoever, he fought while organizing his people. And as a local leader, we are borrowing a leaf from President Museveni, that while you do your politics should benefit and uplift your people. And farming as a business based on a 4-acre model is key. And we are now incorporating farmer training with 1-month-old chicks that have been fully vaccinated at a subsidized price. And that is where we are now saying every household must move from any kind of subsistence farming to farming as a business for household income and food security. And in this model, we shall train farmers based on village saving and loan association, most of which are actually PDM beneficiaries, which is the parish development model beneficiaries. So we have in place in Gulu City, Laro Peche, in Palarajab, already an established hatchery. We also have farmer groups, over 500 farmer groups, that we need to incorporate in the issue of kitchen garden, so that every farmer has some chicks and chicken to give you dual-purpose meat and eggs for household nutrition. But you can also sell so that you take your kids to school and take care of medical care and also have a mabati house over yourself. And therefore, we are in all this to promote perennial crops. But when perennial crops come in, it is a substitute. It's not a substitute, it's complementary. Make sure you produce for your family. Make sure you produce for the market. But also make sure you produce for alleviating household poverty. And that's why perennial, food crop, and animal husbandry must be incorporated hand in hand. Now, where is the challenge? The challenge is most of our poultry farmers are carefree, free-range farmers. So the longer it takes for your chicken to reach the market, the more you spend and waste money. And we are now asking government to help us train welders to have vertical cages. In the same space, you can produce 4 to 5 times more birds, more chicken. At the same time, you improve on the efficiency of feeds, so that the little you spend in buying feeds or producing feeds is converted into eggs and weight in the chicken. And therefore, the other challenge we have is energy sources. We now know that families have energy efficient stoves, which shall produce energy for brooding. And we ask our farmers to come for training, so that the time they are now well experienced, they can take 1-day-old chicks. For now, we are encouraging government to support us with a brooding housing unit, so that the chicks we produce at 95% efficiency in hatching. We also cut down the losses, which go up to 50% loss of 1 day old to 2 weeks old, so that we give our farmers 1 month old, fully vaccinated, improved local chicken. First of all, I will need to talk about General Saleh's concept of seed sovereignty and seed security. The easier our people raise seeds that are viable, the safer our people. Because many dealers sell to you grains, sell to you what you should eat. What you should eat is not seed. Seed is a special technology to make sure whatever you plant gives the best yield. And by General Saleh insisting on seed security, which I call seed sovereignty, that our people and the agriculturists come together to raise the best seeds adapted locally with the best yield, is the best way to fight poverty. Because many of us spend time plowing, spend time weeding, and at the end of the day have poor yield because the seeds are of poor quality. And you cannot guarantee who has the best quality seed unless there is a system to guarantee that those who sell us seeds actually sell us seeds, not grains, not pulses to be eaten. And you know, people go to anybody's garden, buy seeds and put food chemical on it, put preservatives on it and sell in the market unabated. Who loses? It's the farmer. Because you buy with seeds, you invest. So General Saleh's food and seed security project is bringing people's sovereignty to control their future of production closest to them. And I ask production officers, agricultural officers, associations of agro dealers, and people who have stores, because when you actually produce your food, everybody comes to buy. Food is cheapest at the time of harvest, and yet we can dry them better, store them better, have a receipt warehouse system where a farmer goes with a receipt showing how much of their produce is in the stores, and they access credit for school fees, access credit for medicine, than to dump your produce because you have immediate demand for cash. And I think General Saleh has actually assessed all the stores that NGOs, government, World Bank have constructed. Some of them are idle in dead-end roads, and they want to turn them into unions. And they want to turn them into SACCO stores, cooperative stores, so that our farmers produce and save their crops and produce in the best possible condition, where their quality does not go low, where it doesn't rot, where you don't have problems of aflatoxins, so that any buyer can come to you and you're not in a rush to sell. The reason why they exploit farmers is immediately you produce, you don't have where to store it. And where you store it gets mold. When you have mold, the quality gets lower. So General Saleh's food security, seed security, and the store system in Acholi When well collaborated, the final person to benefit is the farmer. There are two things you do for a farmer, and hear this from me. Guarantee a good price and guarantee insatiable market, a market they cannot exhaust. But you come with the crops that within 3 months they have exhausted it and the prices have been dumped. What do you expect from the farmers? To listen to you again? So government, it is the role of government. It is the role of the export board. It is the role of marketing officers to look for market for good prices. And then the farmers will do the quality provision. Then they will listen to you when you want quality produce. They will listen to you if you want them to be organized. They will listen to you on volume. So market, and price. And only government can save these farmers. My final remarks is appeal to government. We would like government to support our brooding units. The cost of electricity, it cost me over 4 million shillings, money that I should have bought fertilized eggs to just put up electricity unit to supply the hatchery. I would like government to support us with affordable commercial loans, agricultural loans, so that we can do business with money that is affordable. The pressure on some of us who work is that we are taking care of so many families. So until government comes in to give us non-secure, affordable agricultural loans, we cannot move further. And my appeal is to Uganda Development Corporation to look at the micro, small and medium enterprises to access affordable financing and credit. And then we shall grow and we can support grassroots farmers. That's my appeal. Thank you so much. My name is Opoka Simon. I'm an agriculturist, a coffee expert, and getting into poultry farming with intensive cage farming system to support our farmers to maximize manure production from chicken. And I am based in La Ropeche. I'm currently the secretary of the Acholi Rochopacho Task Force on Perennial Crops. My contacts are on Twitter. The Twitter handle is Opoka Simon, one word, at Opoka Simon, one word. My email is opokasimon, one word, at live.com. And my telephone number is 0776 88 3786.